And when reporters finally pushed all of it into Pochettino's face, he did not put out a single flame. He looked at the chaos surrounding his own team and called it bullshit. Think about that. The manager of the United States, days before a home World Cup, telling an entire country there is nothing to see here. So either everyone watching is overreacting, or the one man who should be the most worried is the only one refusing to admit how bad this already is. To understand how Team USA's quiet buildup turned into this, you have to start with the most immediate problem. His name is Chris Richards. Richards is not a depth piece. He has 36 caps. He is the Crystal Palace center back, who, on paper, is Pochettino's first-choice defender, the man meant to anchor the back line next to 38-year-old Captain Tim Ream. He is exactly the player you build a tournament defense around. There is just one problem. He is hurt. An ankle injury picked up last month. He has not played a competitive minute since May 17th. He sat as an unused substitute in a European final. And days before the World Cup, his own coach could only say this: today he's training, but he's still not ready to compete and to play. Then Pochettino said the part that really mattered. He admitted that if he had known the true state of that ankle, he might never have picked Richards at all. "It makes me a bit angry," he said. "We know Richards is an important player. But regarding the information we were working with, sometimes there's a lack of clarity." That is a coach openly frustrated, on the record, second-guessing a pick he made for one of his most important players 2 weeks before a World Cup. He even admitted the timelines on the recovery had dragged and that the messaging around the ankle had not been clear. Read between the lines, and it sounds less like an injury and more like a player whose status nobody can actually pin down. And here's why it is a genuine crisis and not just an injury update. When a player is clearly fit, the decision is easy. When a player is clearly done, the decision is easy. Richards is stuck in the worst possible place. Too important to leave behind. Too injured to trust. And this is not March. Under FIFA rules, Pochettino can swap him out, but only up to 24 hours before the opener against Paraguay in Los Angeles. After that, the door slams shut. He does not have a season to wait. He has a countdown. And the warning sign is already flashing. In the warm-up against Senegal, a defense missing Richards looked shaky and shipped 2 goals to Sadio Mane. But an injury you can at least explain. The next fire, Pochettino lit himself. When the official 26-man roster was revealed on the rooftop at Pier 17 with the Brooklyn Bridge behind it, one name was missing. And everybody noticed: Diego Luna. Luna was not a fringe call. Over the last year, Pochettino leaned on him, playing him in 17 of 18 international matches. He was the dual national who chose the United States over Mexico, the kind of coup the Federation loves. U.S. Soccer turned him into the face of the marketing campaign, draped in the stars and stripes across Nike ads. Pundits called him a one-man marketing machine. We were sold the story of his resilience, his work rate, his hunger, the exact things Americans want in a sporting hero. By every signal the Federation sent, he was one of the faces of this World Cup. Now compare that to the player who kept his spot. Gio Reyna made just 4 starts all season for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and none since December 19th. He spent the year fighting for minutes and recovering from injuries. He is the same player Greg Berhalter nearly sent home from the 2022 World Cup for a lack of effort, so one player showed up almost every time he was called and got left home. The other barely played all season and made the plane. And the justification? Pochettino called Reina a special player. When reporters asked him about the men he cut, he refused to even discuss it. "We cannot talk about the players that are not in the roster," he said, "because it is very disrespectful to the player that made the roster." And here it gets stranger. The players who made the squad reportedly got personalized video messages. The players who were cut from the provisional list found out through a cold, automated email. No phone call. For a life-altering decision, the manager could not pick up the phone. Pochettino pushed back hard, saying he did not want to center himself in the player's heartbreak. But that logic falls apart fast, because he is the manager of the United States. He is already the center of the story. Dodging the conversation did not shrink the drama. It multiplied it. The pundits defending the decision pointed to form and fitness as the reason Luna missed out. But if form is the standard, critics asked, then how is Reina in the squad at all? Even Christian Pulisic went a career-high 19 club games without a goal this season. The form-first explanation does not quite add up. Then, a few days later, the other shoe dropped, and suddenly, the other cold, detached approach made a lot more sense. News leaked that Pochettino had been linked to talks to take over at AC Milan. The Guardian reported discussions about the job for next season. Pochettino denied personally meeting Milan executives, though he acknowledged his representatives may have explored options because his U.S. soccer contract expires after this World Cup. To be fair, that is not unusual. When your contract is up, your people look around. That is normal business. But for fans, the timing is brutal because there is one historical ghost hanging over this. In 2018, Spain sacked their manager Julen Lopetegui days before the World Cup, after he secretly agreed to join Real Madrid. That is the comparison nobody in the US camp wants to hear. And it raises the one question nobody wants to ask out loud. How does a locker room make tactical sacrifices for a coach when they suspect he already has one foot out the door? How do you chase a miracle on home soil for a man who may have already planned his exit? The question isn't whether the Milan talks are technically allowed. They probably are. The question is whether Pochettino has made himself the center of attention at the exact moment he was supposed to disappear behind his players. Because everyone here has everything to lose. For Pochettino, this is an audition as much as a tournament. His contract ends in weeks. His future is openly in play, and his entire legacy with this team gets written in the next month. For the players, the job just got harder. They have to tune out their own manager's boardroom drama and play purely for the crest. And for Team USA, this is the first home World Cup since 1994, a generational chance that may not come again for decades, and it is arriving wrapped in chaos. Underneath all the headlines, this comes down to something simple. A team is at its strongest when everyone is fully present. The injured player you can count on, the coach, whose attention is undivided, the squad that trusts the man picking it. Right now, Pochettino has none of those lines.